back to OVC Insider, your source for all the headlines around Ohio Valley Conference. I'm Grant along with Viki, and let's get started.
And this is a big week for the OVC. Starting on Monday, we had a press conference in our offices where we had Bob Sconey from Municipal Auditorium on hand. And he was here to help us announce a new format to the OVC basketball tournament starting next year. Starting in 2011, we're going to have all 8 men's and women's teams together at one neutral location, playing in one 4-day tournament. This will be a change from the current setup, where only the semifinals and finals are played in Nashville at the Sommet Center downtown. First-round games are played at home courts. OVC Commissioner Beth DeBusch talks about why student-athletes and fans should like the new format.
OVC student-athletes really will have an opportunity to share an experience with one another. Student-athletes will really feel that they're part of the history of OVC basketball, and we can create a better tournament environment for which our student-athletes can compete. As a fan, you should know earlier on in the process that your team has actually been presented with an opportunity to come to this neutral site venue. The institutions and their fans can plan far in advance to come to the OVC tournament. While it may sound trite, March in the Music City really should be a slogan for our member institutions. We can sell tickets earlier. From a staff standpoint, we can do much more planning and create a bigger event for all our fans to participate. Thirdly, from a Nashville standpoint, we can really create a tournament environment for our fans throughout the course of the city that they really feel that they're part of the OVC experience and OVC history.
Donnie Tyndall, head coach at Morehead State, weighs in on what he thinks about the new format.
I agree with the other coaches. I think it's a huge positive. I think it's great that 8 teams will be going to one venue where you can really create a true conference tournament atmosphere. You'll have more fans there. I think it'll be more marketable. And you know, I was in the SEC and in the Sun Belt Conference. I just think that particularly in the SEC, that really makes for a true tournament atmosphere, which is fun for everybody involved. So I think it's a great positive for our league.
Well, thanks for that, Coach. And Grant, I wanted to ask you what you thought of the new format.
Well, personally, I think it's going to be a good change. You're coming from a large venue like the Sommet Center, which has a lot of bells and whistles, so it's very nice and very accommodating, obviously, but we're not quite there as a conference yet. I think we can get there, but I think right now we need to get a little bit smaller venue. We can get more fans in there, have them sitting on top of the crowd or on top of the student athletes, making it a better environment. A lot more exciting. Your fans have an opportunity to make travel arrangements earlier so they know that they can set aside time to come down. It's going to be great for the city. I just think it's a win-win for everybody involved.
Yeah, I think it's just going to make for a better atmosphere all around, so I agree with you.
Sure. Well, with future plans in place, we now move our attention to this year's tournament at the Sommet Center downtown Nashville. It's going to be taking place next Friday and Saturday, and if you haven't gotten your tickets already, we encourage you to do so on ovcsports.com. There are plenty of great seats still available. The last 2 regular season games of the season are this weekend, and we don't have our seeds set in stone yet, but we do have a pretty clear idea of who's going to be playing and where. Now, bear with me here because it gets kind of confusing, but Murray State has clinched first place. That's kind of obvious. Morehead State is a second place pick right now. 3 through 5 is either going to be Eastern Kentucky, Austin Peay, or Eastern Illinois. If Austin Peay can beat Eastern Illinois on Thursday, then Austin Peay will lock up the 4th seed. Right now, Tennessee Tech and Jacksonville State are playing each other for the 6th spot. The winner is 6th. The loser is going to fall to either 7th or 8th. Tennessee State is currently in 8th place right now, and if they win at SEMO on Thursday, then they're in. But if they win 2 games, then they could get to 8, or they could get to 7, excuse me. So I mean, we got a pretty good idea of who's going to be playing, but we don't have any idea what the order is going to be yet. So stay tuned for more results this weekend. It should be exciting.
Of those top 5 seeds, 3 of them won their bracket buster game this past weekend. EIU defeated in-state opponent NIU, while EKU beat Winthrop. The Murray State Racers were the 3rd team in the conference to pick up a victory with their win over Morgan State on national television. The Racers trailed at half but went on a late second-half run to seal the win. Murray State is one of 3 teams undefeated in conference play. Butler and Kansas are the others. Their current RPI is up to 77, and they are now receiving votes in both the AP and coaches poll. The last time an OVC men's team was ranked in either poll was March 10th, 1998. When Murray State was ranked 25th in the AP poll. With the last week of regular season play upon us, Murray State will look to become the first team in conference history to win more than 16 conference games. Their first chance will take place Thursday night at Morehead State, which should be a great game by all accounts.
And the Racers will again attempt to make history when they invade Eastern Kentucky on Saturday. The Colonels have only lost one game at home this year, and that happened to Morehead State early this year, if you remember, when we were all going streaking as a conference.
Yep, and headlining the women's side is Eastern Illinois, who has already clinched at least a share of the regular season title. If they can win again on Thursday against Austin Peay, they can win the regular season title outright.
EIU had a chance to claim the outright title already, but UT Martin snapped their 13-game winning streak over the weekend and put the Panthers' outright title dreams on hold. UT Martin is by far the surprise team in the league this year. Predicted to finish last, the Skyhawks are currently in a tie for 5th place. And last week we spoke of how balanced the league is, and we want to point to the fact that no team has been eliminated from postseason contention yet. Only Eastern Illinois, Morehead State, and Austin Peay can make postseason plans at this point, since those 3 schools have all locked up a home game in the first round. This weekend games are sure to be dramatic, with everyone's season being on the line.
Wazoo Sports will be producing and broadcasting the semifinals and finals of the women's basketball tournament, making it the first time the semifinals will be broadcast on live TV. Select stations will also be picking up the games, and you can find that information on ovcsports.com.
And this weekend marks the OVC Indoor Track and Field Championship hosted by Tennessee State in Nashville. A few athletes to keep an eye out for this weekend are weight thrower and shot putter Candace Arnold of EIU. She earned her 4th OVC Field Athlete of the Week this week. On the men's side, shot putter Josh Uckman of Southeast Missouri State will attempt to continue his school record-breaking season.
And we would like to wish good luck to all the teams competing in the Indoor Track and Field Championship this weekend.
Yep. And baseball got underway this weekend, and we have a few notes there that we'd like to mention.
Murray State, who traveled to Nashville for a 3-game series against Lipscomb, and UT Martin, who hosted IPFW, also in a 3-game series. Both Murray State and UT Martin swept their opponent, which marks the first time Murray State has had an opening season sweep since 1963, and the first time UT Martin has won their opener in 12 years.
And before we wrap it up today, we'd like to give a congratulations to the Murray State Rifle team, who qualified as one of the 8 teams competing in the NCAA Rifle Championship, which is going to be March 12th and 13th on the campus of TCU in Fort Worth, Texas. Also, Jacksonville State qualified 2 individuals in the small bore, and they are Brian Carstensen and Andrea Dardis. So good luck to them. Hopefully we can bring back some championships.
Yep, definitely. And we'd also like to give a quick congratulations to Brandon Baston and Brett Henderson for winning our Facebook and Twitter contests. They have each won themselves a pair of tickets to the men's and women's OVC basketball championship game. And we'd just like to remind you to join our Facebook and Twitter accounts and be on the lookout for more contests where we give out more free stuff.
Absolutely. It's a win-win. I think that's going to do it for us this week. Mm-hmm. But check back next week. It's going to be a basketball-heavy edition with the tournament just around the corner.
Definitely.
All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Next time.